Hi, I'm Lisa, the Barefoot Pampered Chef, and as you've probably noticed, I'm one of the 2 out of 3 American adults that are either obese or overweight. So there's a lot of us that are going with that. So for me, I'm definitely trying to lose weight, and one of those things that I'm trying to do is eat a healthy breakfast. No, I'm not a breakfast person at all. I hate breakfast. But I need a snack or a breakfast meal that I can grab quickly and run out the door with. So that's kind of what I'm going to show you today. We're going to make apple cheddar bacon egg muffins. And we're going to use our handy dandy Pampered Chef brownie pan, because as you can see, it's got 12 different squares. And so you can make individual size bars or individual size brownies if you choose to make those. So I don't have to sit there and cut them up and divvy them up. They're already done for me. So it makes it a little bit easier. So these muffins or bars that I'm making, the serving size is 2 muffins. And in that serving size, there's 170 calories, 4 grams of carbs, and about 14 grams of protein. So they're actually fairly healthy for you, and they taste good as well. The first thing that we're going to start out with is this recipe itself is in the Season's Best Pampered Chef recipe book that you can purchase on my website. That sound indicates that I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's all set, and I've already spritzed my pan with the kitchen mister with some olive oil just to make it a little bit extra non-stick. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start out with 8 eggs. Now we do have chickens on my farm, so these are farm fresh eggs. We don't have a rooster currently, or actually we just got a new one. He decided to take a ride in a truck and we haven't seen him since. So 8 eggs. If you can, I really suggest you getting farm fresh. It makes a lot of a difference. You know what's going into your eggs. Although the egg industry itself it's actually okay. Being a vet, I'm fine with a lot of it. So, almost done here. 3 more to go. I know this is a lot of eggs, but eggs are actually fairly healthy for you. They're a pure protein source, meaning they don't have any carbs in them, and they're a really good combination of calcium and phosphorus. So we're going to whisk these eggs just a little bit, because we're going to whisk them some more in a second. I just wanted to break the yolks. We're going to add to this 1/2 cup of milk. I'm using 2%. You can use whatever kind of milk that you would like. And then we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So what I'm using is regular table salt that I have actually infused with rosemary. So I have this sitting on my shelf. I have rosemary leaves inside of it, so my salt smells like rosemary. It's a great way to add a little bit of flavor and punch to some of your dishes. So I'm going to start whisking this. Now you could put this in your Pampered Chef whipped cream maker and it would make them nice and fluffy. Today I'm just going for the whisk. So those are all nice and whisked together. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to grate some cheese into this. So I've got my microplane adjuster, or adjustable coarse grater, and I've got, if you can see this, 2 ounces of cheddar cheese in the food holder. So I'm just going to slide this in. I may have made my cheese a little bit too big inside there, but that's fine. We'll go this way. Slide my cheese in right over the bowl. And I'm going to grate in 2 ounces of that cheddar cheese. Now I use extra sharp just because that happens to be my favorite. You can use just sharp, or you can just use regular cheddar, white cheddar, whatever you feel like. We're going to put all of that in there. What we're also going to add is half of a Granny Smith apple. This gives it a little bit of acidity and a little bit of tartness, and it also adds some good vitamins and some antioxidants as well. So I'm just using my vegetable strip maker, and I'm going to go about half of an apple, just until I see the core. And I think I'll do a little bit more because that doesn't seem like a complete half. That should be good, and I can save the rest for a snack tonight. I'm just going to scrape this in. The next thing that we're going to add is 1/3 of a cup of bacon bits. Now, this recipe does itself call for bacon bits. A lot of the time I'll make these myself, but if you're in a hurry, you could just use the real bacon bits like I have today. I don't suggest you using fake bacon bits. So I just pour those in there. And last but not least, this recipe in the Pampered Chef book calls for what they call their French toast popcorn seasoning. Now, you can make this, and they do tell you how to make it in the book because it's not available in Canada. And you can mix 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of maple syrup, and 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon with a pinch of salt. So you're going to make that mixture, and then you're just going to add 1 tablespoon of it, and you can save the rest of it to put it on as a topping later. So what I've been using for my measurements here are my neat little Pampered Chef nesting spoons. So they all kind of fit together when you're done. This one's out of order right now. And the neat thing about this is it actually has 1/2 tablespoon scoop, which a lot of sets don't. So I'm going to mix all of this together nicely. So it makes a nice batter. Make sure I got everything. So you're going to use 8 eggs, 1/2 cup of milk, 1/4 tablespoon of salt, 2 ounces of cheddar cheese, 1/2 Granny Smith apple, and 1/2 cup or 1/3 cup of real bacon bits, and then that tablespoon of the French toast seasoning. Get this all good and mixed up in there. You have to marry all the flavors together. And then we're going to pour this into our brownie tin. You should have enough, if you've poured correctly, which I don't know if I have or not, to do the whole pan. Or if you feel that you need to measure it out a little bit better, which I may have done, you can use the large Pampered Chef scoop and just plop it into each one. So I'm actually just going to kind of take a little bit out of that one and add to that one, and I think we're good. And maybe we'll give this guy a little extra loving too. Mistakes in the kitchen are only mistakes if you feel like they are. If you just kind of go with the flow, I think everything will turn out for you. So we're going to pop those into that 350-degree oven for, let's see here, this one says 15 to 18 minutes or until the eggs are set. So I'm going to pop them in. The recipe today, we used the brownie pan, we used the veggie strip peeler, or veggie strip maker, we used the microplane adjustable coarse grater, I used my batter bowl, and my mix-and scraper, and we got that recipe for apple cheddar bacon egg muffins out of the Season's Best Pampered Chef cookbook. You can get all of this information and more on my website at www.pamperedchef.biz/Lisa Wright, LISAWRIGHT. And hopefully we can all start losing some weight together, because I know I'm waiting for it. So I hope you have a good night, and I hope you tune in this weekend for some more demos. Thanks, and have a great day.